Hi, I'm Richard Friesen, and you are listening to Rich's Reframes. Now, Rich's Reframes, our motto is, the more stunning the surprise, the more radical the reframe, the more impactful the information. So what we do is we take subjects and topics that just don't seem to get resolved, and then we reframe them, give you a very different lens to look through so that they are resolved. And you go, oh, what? Huh? Oh. So that's our goal, is to give you a new lens to look at some typical problems and reframe them so that the solution just seems to pop up. And today, we are going to reframe our educational process. That's right. We're going to reframe it so all of a sudden it looks like, oh gosh, why didn't we think of that? But I didn't think of this all. How this occurred and what brought me to the subject of education was when I was running for the U.S. Congress in 2006. I was on a televised debate with the other two candidates, and I brought with me the printed out legislation of No Child Left Behind. Now, one of the candidates was a big proponent of this and had been involved in its creation in Congress. And what I did is I opened it up at a random place and read from it. It was like an IRS manual. And if the 2/3 of this or that is this, then you refer to subparagraph B, and then funding will be added at X% depending on paragraph 7, 8. I mean, it just went on and on. But what was amazing, there was not one reference to how children learn, thrive, and expand their educational opportunities. It was all about money. So today we're going to look at how do we create an educational environment for kids. And what the next thing that triggered this was an interview with Lahn, who heads the Wonder School in Wichita, Kansas. And I'll put a link to the YouTube video. But he clarified a process of education that just made immediate sense. So what I did is I jotted down the main points. I'm going to condense them. If you don't want to listen to an hour-plus interview, you can get the main points. And this reframes how we look at education. Well, the first point is mastery. Right now we have a kid, he's put in a grade, there's certain levels to master, and he gets an A through an F. So if you're good, in that topic, you get an A, or you get worse, and then you move on. Oh my God. That makes no sense. What about mastery? You work on a topic and you get a level of mastery, and then you move on and you increase your mastery. So for some people kids who are mathematically oriented, zoom, they might just keep moving. For others of us who have struggled with math, we're going to take our time, but we're going to master the topic. And as a result, there's no failure. There's just mastery. What they also do is they invite the kids to create their hero's journey. We all know about meaning in life, that life without meaning, without purpose, without goals, oftentimes leaves us a bit empty and sometimes can lead to depression and other psychological issues. But if we can focus on a goal, a mission that excites us. So what they do is they invite the kids to have a hero's journey. What would be their hero's journey? And what this implies as they teach hero's journey is the hero hits a lot of difficulty. And how they overcome that difficulty with a process is what they want to teach the kids, is to create a process that always continually handles difficulty and moves them forward in their life. Not a bad idea to plant in their heads that life is a journey and they are the hero of their journey. Another point that they made in the video was agency. So for my clients, one of the first things I teach them is the golden keys. And the golden keys are first awareness. What's going on right now? Like right now, is my stomach tight? Oh, I can take a big breath. I can relax a little more, let my voice lower and not be so tense. So the first is self-awareness. And the second is acceptance. In other words, if I judge myself for what I discover, oh my gosh, that doesn't help very much, because then I'm constantly beating myself up. But we have awareness, acceptance, and then the third golden key is agency. As we increase this awareness up here and real-time awareness, eventually that creates not just awareness, but the ability to act on it, to ask what do we want now, and to actually change the normal from the normal reactions that don't serve us to behaviors that serve us much better. So I really like their emphasis on agency. We all know, stories about peer pressure. Well, the opposite of peer pressure is peer support. So they have a social process, and they start in kindergarten to absorb the culture of respect, of goals, evaluation, communication, and conflict resolution. So even the youngest kids are set up with a goal. And when you're really young, it might be a goal for the next hour or the next day. As you're in high school, as you go through the school, your goal may be even a longer term career. So what they do is in the morning, to support their tribal support, is they have a Socratic check-in. And this is where they present multiple points of views, maybe have a debate, have an issue that's come up, but they have a process of mutual support and discussion to support it. So the kids learn how to deal with different points of view and conflict, and a process for resolving it. What they also do, and what it seems obvious, is you get the best quality training methodology that there is. For example, for math, this school uses the Khan Academy that has goals. It has a way of knowing what the student needs, what their processes are. It repeats things they need, is helpful, and all that. So they take the best educational processes and bring them into school. So a kid isn't limited to the limitations of a teacher who may not have all that experience to know how kids learn, how to measure it, and how to improve, and how to motivate. Let's have our kids all experience the best. And then another thing they do, and this is amazing, is they have internships for kids as young as 14. They have internships where they take, what their career goals are or what they want to do, what they're excited about. And then they have a process, a very step-by-step process to gain an internship, with a short email, a short discussion, a longer discussion to ask for an internship and deliver, and to be really clear about the value they can deliver. So now when they come out of that school, can you imagine? They have skills of learning, not just content. They have conflict resolution. They know how to work in groups and get tribal support. They know how to have the best training in the subjects by using the best teachers and the best software from around the world. And they also have real life experience of actually doing something in the world, so that they are have the experience of knowing, is that something I want to do, not want to do, but they have that experience, and when they make the next step, they're fully prepared. Reframe education, wow. So I'm very impressed with the largest school franchise. It's called Acton. I'll put the link in under the email, and I'll also put the interview with the Wonder School lead who explained all this and how it works. So what do we do next? Next step is to start to adopt things that work, things that make sense. Now, what this means is the traditional content, delivery, discipline, sit at your desk stuff is going to go away. But of course, we have huge investment in this from teachers unions, from school systems to public education. And as a result, that's going to take a movement and it'll happen when parents finally realize that they can give their kids an education that actually supports their thriving in the real world and for the rest of their lives.